My next guest is going to be taking on Alexandre Pantoja coming up here at UFC 236 on April 13th. It is Wilson Hayes joining me here on the program for the very first time. Wilson, how are you?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me on the show. A pleasure doing interview with you guys. So I'm good, man. I'm about a couple of days, about a week, a little bit over a week to go for the fight. So just finishing a camp. Ready to go Sunday night to Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm great, man. I'm happy, where my camp, is right now. I had a great camp, so I'm very excited and healthy and ready to go.
We'll talk about this upcoming fight in a second, but I wanted to talk about your last fight. You got a really impressive win over Ben Nguyen at UFC Fight Night 142. How happy were you with your performance in that fight? Because that was a pretty good win.
Oh, yeah, man. I was extremely happy because Ben has a very different kind of style, like an orthodox style to fight as a striker. So I did a big study on him, I just went hard on him, man, because I very much need it, So it was definitely I took like 100 pounds over my back, with that win, and I felt great, I felt that going into the fight there was no pressure, but then on the back of my ear I knew there was a little bit of pressure there, but then I just didn't feel it, I feel great in the fight, I was able to pretty much do my whole game plan, and I was planning doing him. I was really surprised in how well he defended my grappling, because I was really sharp and he was able to defend it. But I was able to, just with pressure, I was able to, get through and get the unanimous decision win.
It was a great win, and it's always nice, snapping a losing streak there. But were you worried at all with the UFC? Because it seemed like they were getting rid of the flyweights. I know, obviously, you're coming off a win, but were you worried at all when you heard that the UFC was potentially getting rid of the division?
Man, like I'm not trying not to really think about much, because otherwise it's gonna consume me a lot of my energy, So I just live in God's hand, man. Like I do what I can do with training and try to improve every fight. I think what I can do is just put on a show for the fans. So the fans help keep the weight class alive, So that's what I'm planning on doing. This next Saturday 13. I want to really put on a great show, man, and really speak up. I say, man, you guys have to keep our job, because like everybody that I talk to, everybody love the weight class. Maybe there's a lot of people out there that don't like the weight class, but everybody else that I talk to, not even my friends, like people that I know, they're just martial arts fans, and they really appreciate the weight class, And you see boxing nowadays, man, the lighter weights that's holding up boxing. You don't see much heavyweight names, It's more like the lighter weight names. So I think the lighter weights, it just, is a part of the sport, the fighting sport, People obviously the speed, the agility, the nice moves, the cardio and everything, So I'm just praying that it will keep the weight class, and not just for me, and for my job, for my family and everything, but for all the flyweights coming up, man. I know a lot of people that are flyweights all over the world. They dream to fight in UFC, like myself, So I want them to have the opportunity as well,
Let's talk about your opponent here coming up here at UFC 236. 20-3 record, another guy as well who always brings an exciting fight. How do you feel like you match up against him?
Man, I think this is gonna be a clash because we both like a pressure fighters, and he has extremely great grappling, and he can knock people out too. He has like 5-6 knockout, as well. So it's definitely gonna be a fight. Definitely gonna be a fight. So I'm very excited for that, And then every time, for me, it's very special. I get to fight another Brazilian, So when the two Brazilians fighting internationally, we're both gonna bring it because we do it for a country, we do it for a family, we do it for a name. So I know he's gonna bring as well, So it's stylistic, it's gonna be who gonna be able to improve the will, in a fight, So I have my game plan to really, throw him off, and then to apply my game plan, But all I know, and I'm ready for work, I know it's gonna be a war because I know how good he is,
You train at a great camp at Alliance MMA. Who have been some of your main training partners for this camp?
Man, I have a great training partner. I have Danny Martinez, that is a former UFC fighter. We have a Guito Perez. We have Bellator champion Darren Coldwell. I have all the flyweight from Combat Americas, Alberto. We have a bunch of guys, man. Bunch of uppercomers, bunch newcomers. A lot of UFC guys fight from all the shows, And I got to have Dominic Cruz here and there, give some tips and everything. Eric Del Fiero, or head coach. My main coach, Gabriel Migliotti, he knows my striking. He's like overall, he's with me all day. And I have Steve Stenya. I have my strength conditioner coach. I have as well Coach Miguel Reis, our Alliance MMA striking coach as well. So we have a bunch of great coaches. But what made Alliance MMA special is just the room, just a tough room. People come here from all over the country, all over the nation, all over like Mexico. Just cross the border and we just go at it. So we just motivate each other as a team, and get each other ready for a fight.
How's the weight cut going? This fight's coming up here next week. Everything going according to plan, getting to 125.
Oh yeah, man, everything is great. I'm probably like in the mid 40s right now. I get a little bit heavy off season, but then once I sign the contract, it's business. So usually this fight had about like 2.5 months notice. So I was already like in training camp. So after I came back from vacation, it was January 1st. I was already in camp, training hard. So I guess middle to the end of January, that's when they give it the news. So we're already ready. So. Weight cut's always the same, like the 5 weeks sucks a little bit, cut the calories and everything. But I have learned so much, about how to cut weight, and this is gonna be my number 11. Number 11, I believe, flyweight fight. So I got really used to making the weight, and how our technology is improving how to cut weight. You have all these companies now, like nutritionists and everything. Things I didn't have in the past, now I have it now. So make my weight cut much better. So it's gonna be smooth now. It's gonna be a good 5 week. I'm excited. I'm going a couple of days ahead. I'm actually going 2 days earlier. Leave Sunday night so I can have a normal 5 week. So I'm excited for that.
Would you be open to going up to bantamweight? Because we've seen the UFC tell a couple of the flyweights, "Hey, you got to fight at bantamweight." Now we just had a fight, I believe it was last week with Perez and De La Rosa. They had to fight at bantamweight. Is that something you'd be open to?
Oh man, definitely be open to, yeah. Like I believe that with my reach and everything, a flyweight is the better weight class for me. I mean, but if there's no flyweight, I definitely don't want to lose my job. I love fighting for UFC. I think everything around UFC for me it excites me. So like if there's no more flyweight fights, I definitely won't be open to go up to 135. So I'll make some adjustments on my strength condition and everything. I feel that I have the body type to fight at 35. I don't have definitely not I won't be the tallest guy, but then definitely I have the strength. I fought 35, I think like 5 times, and so I can definitely fight at 135. But I definitely prefer to fight flyweight. And I think I really hope to get like another shot at the title, at the flyweight division. So I'm keep my finger crossed so I can do that. And if not, I will pursue that as a 135 as well.
Yeah, I think people forget that you fought. The fight I remember is when you fought Patricio Pitbull in Bellator at 45. Like you fought in all types of weight classes. So I mean, I wouldn't think it would be too tough to go back up again. But that's good. I agree. I think 125 is your ideal weight class.
Yes. And then to see my progression, in the sport, to see my fights, my old fights, and just look my body overall. I see I can my performance at 135. I mean at 125. It's been better since all my performance in a 45, a 50, a 35, a 45. So I think that because I have to get my body to such a healthy and technical, like, shape that I can definitely use it everything. So I can. Is the best Wilson Hayes will be a flyweight, I believe, because I have the speed, I have the energy, I have the power, I have the size. But we can make it happen at 135 as well. But then I'll enjoy be at 125 as long as I can.
How do you see this fight playing out on April 13th?
Man, I see me winning by a knockout. Like I always like I've been saying that for my last few fights, and I'm a base grappler. But that means I'm working hard on my striking. I'm really trying to get there. So that will come at some point, and I'm really excited. How this camp has been. So I'm going for a knockout or a submission. But I'm definitely shooting for a finish because I will go to finish. I won last April. It's gonna be a 1 year anniversary. I lost to Moraga, in the same time the year, in a fight that I thought I won. So you never know when it comes to the judges. Now, watching the couple UFCs ago, and I thought there was some bad decisions there. So it's definitely one thing I will not do, leave on the judge's hands. Now we will go there to finish Pantoja.
Before I let you go, we talked all about training camp and everything. What about downtime? I know you're a family guy. You guys go to the beach. What do you like doing when you're trying to take your mind off fighting and trying to relax and do something outside of fighting?
Yeah, man, I'm like, I'm very kind of like quiet guy, just go to the beach, stay home, watch some movie, Netflix, go to the movies. I don't, maybe like if I'm not in camp, man, I like to go to the bars, have a couple beers with my friends, just socialize, like I have I have a lot of friends, so I got, spend time with them, so, and as well train, I mean, like train jiu-jitsu, train with the gi. That's something I really enjoy doing when I don't have a fight coming up, and yeah, I just like go back to my roots, but just enjoy, especially enjoy San Diego, man. I've been in San Diego for 7 years now, I love being here, and I used to live in Philly. I go back to Philly after my fights as well, see my friends, and because I love the city as well. Just enjoy. I do a lot. I travel a lot. After my fights, I go back home to Brazil, see my parents. I go to Philadelphia. So I'm excited. After this fight, I got to go to back to Philly. I'm going to Brazil. I might go to to Ireland to compete jiu-jitsu. So I just try to enjoy, man. Whatever I'm doing, being happy and enjoying life.
I was going to ask you about that. You're a little disappointed you didn't get on the UFC Philadelphia card last weekend.
Man, I was so disappointed. Like, I live in Philly for 10 years, and I have a close friend of mine, George Wayne, and he invited me to Philly, and we both, like, have our finger crossed that I was going to be on there. Because the last two times the UFC came to Philadelphia, I was in UFC, but I was there watching, 2009, 2012. And it's been a dream, man. I guess, like, even if they come to San Diego, man, I want to fight in a car because you have all your friends, all the people that see you coming up. They want I love everybody that watch my fights, but the people that been there with you, seeing you try to get there, it's special for them, to watch in your hometown. And I think for the hometown, for the people, for the community to see you, you live here. So like I live in San Diego, I live in Philly, and I think that would mean so much for me to fight in the city that I lived. Especially UFC is the biggest stage. For everybody that see me coming up, say, "There, he's there," fighting, walking out the Wells Fargo Arena, But I hope that will happen someday. Like either in Philly, either here in San Diego, or even in Brazil. So every time I ask, man, I've been like, I've been going to everybody's town to fight. I'm usually the guy that out of town fight the guy that's from, I fought Ben in Australia. I fought Moraga in his hometown. I fight like everybody in their hometowns. And I feel hopefully they see my side one day, and I got to fight home.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, in the meantime, this is a stack card. It's coming up here next Saturday. It is UFC 236. Wilson, it was so great getting a chance to talk to you, man. I really appreciate the time. Just remind people where they can find you on social media. And if you have any sponsors or shoutouts, I see you got the shirt there. The floor is yours.
Oh, thanks so much, James. Man, I really appreciate the time, Man, I just like to thank all my teammates, Alliance MMA, all my coaches, Alliance MMA, my sponsors, Bad Boy, you have Everlast, you have Headblade, Punch Gunk, you have here Snapback, all the people that support my camp, and my management team, Belgi, they've been doing a great job with me, so I thank them as well. And I just want to tell the fans, man, tell everybody to watch this fight, man. Watch it. The cards is stacked. I'm excited as a fan. Every time I get to any UFC card, like I see the guys they in the card, I say, man, dude, like these guys excites me. So I got to I get to fight the same day these guys fight. So I'm already planning to get a quick win, and go enjoy the rest of the show and watch the rest of the fight, man. Like it's gonna be a star card. But most importantly, it's just me, like my performance, like I work hard, and I want to really, just showcase, everything I've done in my camp, And you guys can find me on Instagram, Wilson Reis, Reis 7, and Portuguese is Reis, but in English is Reis. Wilson Reis 7, Facebook just Wilson Reis, and Twitter Wilson Reis 7 as well. So thank you, Jamie. As you really appreciate it.